It looks a bit different. I'm sorry. I'm not very used to this. I just listened to somebody in the US. Okay. I'm not used to this. And he talked about this terrible isolation that he was in, and most Americans, I guess, if you are single, then you are really a prisoner. And a family, okay, if they can stay together, then it's not the same thing. But for singles, this can be very dangerous. You can die from isolation. You can. I'm usually isolated because I have 10 diseases. I have, I'm old. I have everything against me, but in my flat I have a Wi-Fi and I try to entertain myself as much as I can. But now I'm evacuated because of renovation and oh boy, it's difficult. It's very difficult. But now I thought I would talk about the freedom that we have in Sweden. Well, but I think it's freedom. Um, Today I have ordered a cab for disabled to another to that little village I talked about, and I'm going to buy batteries. They're very hard to come by, but they had ordered some, so they're fresh. You cannot store up a lot of batteries because they will uh, lose their power. And my only way to the only way for me to get some freedom, to get out, to get air, to get nature, to go somewhere, it is the moped. I have had mopeds for 10 years, and yeah, okay, it gets stolen now and then, but but now it's really bad. Now it's almost impossible, even if you have a garage and several locks and yeah, I wouldn't call it doors. This isn't doors, but they tried to steal it immediately. But then the alarm was activated, and they were not used to that. I clear my throat because I don't have saliva. It's one of my diseases. So it's not coughing. I don't cough. And they got a shock. This narrow space, and then 110 decibel in the garage. And if somebody came in, yeah, they gave up. And then when I took it out in May to clean it and so on, I noticed, oh shit, the batteries don't work. And I tried desperately for 2 weeks to find batteries, and I couldn't. So it got stolen, but the police found it and kept it for 1 month. And then we noticed that the steering lock was ruined, and therefore my son, he he's a mechanic, he ordered that, and we must wait 1 month. So the whole summer went by, and I couldn't get out. So I must get batteries, otherwise I'm smoked or fucked, whatever you say. Um, and now I am going to take a cab. There is plastic. Between me and the driver is thick plastic, so there is no contact. Though in Sweden there are limitations here and there and there and there. The table, they are not so many. Chairs in the drugstore, not so many. I mean, they do everything they can to help us to keep a distance, 2 meters, 3 meters, 4 meters, but distance. And I would say that Swedes are pretty intelligent. We think, and we think on our own. So, do I want corona? No, I don't. So, would I like to respect these recommendations? Yeah, yeah. And when I go away today, I will go into a cheaper restaurant this time. I think it's open, and it's a very small place, 2,000 inhabitants. Perhaps I am the only one there. So this thing to go to small places, small villages with a restaurant, I found this, it's a good idea. Stockholm is catastrophe, yeah. But there are so many people. So whatever you do, you come close to other people. It's very difficult to keep a big distance then. And I understand that they have too many dead people in Stockholm. So we go to the countryside, me and my son, on Sundays. And yeah, I mean, to people who have been isolated long, they're very talkative, and 2 meters, it doesn't stop me, it doesn't stop them. We talk to each other in the drugstore. Okay, it's 2 meters between us. We talk to each other, we talked all the time. We were waiting for our turn. And in the restaurant we talked, and there are places, opportunities where you can talk. But Swedes don't talk to strangers. We don't talk to each other. But now we talk to each other, at least singles. People have been in lockdown and just come home. And those that have felt very lonely talk to each other. And I'm looking at the time. And this is new. This is an improvement. I don't want corona for me or for anybody. Of course I'm against it. Of course I hate it. But I can see that people appreciate each other more, much more, when they see each other. They talk more. They do talk to strangers at the bus stop. They do talk. It's something new. Perhaps we will become better. And perhaps if the corona goes away, perhaps we will be less isolated. Perhaps we will take more contact with each other. I mean, this is positive. So that was about Swedes and isolation, and Swedes and work. Well, the government does not want everything to collapse, because we can't pick it up, we can't go on. It will be catastrophe if we just close everything down. So they try to keep many things going on. My son, car mechanic, a very big firm, they sell a lot of cars, and he repairs them. Yeah, and he has kept his job because he's the best in the team, and he is also cheap. He's a bit cheaper. He has some contributions because he has dyslexia, and he's cheaper, is faster, is so ambitious. no, we don't fire him. So he has a job, and many others have been fired, or they have a chance to come back. Yeah. And his girlfriend also has a job, and she has kept it. There are not many people now. It's a hostel. They haven't come yet. She prepares things, works with papers and stuff, and other things. Uh, Other Swedes, they work at home at their computer, and there are many jobs you can do that way. You just work at the computer at home. So many Swedes do work. So the country has not collapsed. So, and do we make paper? I mean, people are so afraid of getting out of paper. I've seen on YouTube that they try to get paper, and more paper, and that's our thing. We have forest, and now those places that make paper, they work really hard. They work overtime. They make so much paper. So you don't need to be afraid of going to the toilet or getting out of napkins. It, it's fantastic. It's fantastic. I I don't like the government usually. Usually, I don't think they do the right decisions. But when it comes to this, I think the only way is to go on with restrictions. Distance, distance, and distance. That's basically number one. Wash my hands, well, yes. Uh, but if I'm home for some days isolated, why should I wash my hands all the time? I don't know. So I want to. I'm looking at the clock. I just want to say that, okay, people die, the old people. There are many, many old people that die. But if you are 80, yeah, it can perhaps be enough. For me, it's enough. I'm 70. And I'm tired of all my diseases that I've had all my life. And I don't bother really if I die and go to heaven, because I have this belief in, a higher power who is good, who has created me. I had a near-death experience. It was wonderful, more than wonderful. I want to go back. I want to go to heaven. So the worst thing that could happen, it is that I go to heaven, and I have nothing against that. And in the meantime, well, I'm so glad that there is some freedom for us. And I wish you who are isolated all the best. Don't kill yourself. It's no use, really. It is not. But go on, keep the spirits up. Spirit. Keep contact with the spirit, the good one. It will help you through. It will help me through. And now I think my time is up. Okay. Goodbye. Goodbye.